Do you ever find yourself daydreaming and looking for an escape from work? Well, this is my journey of leaving behind a toxic, micromanaging boss and finding a new job that let me become me again. Let's just say I had to leave my previous job because I wasn't happy with how things were going. Towards the end, I was doing the work of 2 people, which left me feeling stressed out and exhausted. I started as a cleaner, but ended up as the cook. It was time for a change, for a better work-life balance. It doesn't matter how much or how little you work. If you're always complaining and thinking about work during your own time, you don't really have your own time. Even though I wasn't working too many hours, I was still left feeling like a crispy piece of bacon. Burnt out, frustrated, and completely fried. There were other reasons for leaving too, that I won't get into today. I'll just say there was a variety of things wrong, especially with the monster in charge. She was off her rocker. If I could have sanely stayed while searching for a new job, I would have. Luckily, I was in the position to comfortably leave, so I did. It's not worth losing your marbles over a job, not ever. This meant I had some time to focus on myself and what I really wanted out of life. My goal in the next decade is to make enough money through my art to work remotely from the comforts of my own home. My dream is to have a cosy cottage tucked away in a serene place with a border collie and runner ducks. In the meantime, I dedicated myself to developing my artistic abilities, whilst I was also searching for a new job. I'm excited to share that I have recently completed my first children's book, Super Poppy, which features a guinea pig with a unique superpower. Check out the link in the description below. Trust me, it's a gas. As much as I enjoy lounging around and sucking the life out of others, being a leech just wasn't cutting it for me. I needed to find myself a job, and quick. The job search wasn't easy. I had to craft a personalised cover letter and attach my CV to every application, all while searching for the most fitting job. And let's not forget about the anxiety of waiting for a response, which may or may not come. It was like playing the lottery, except with my livelihood on the line. After enduring this torture for a grueling 3 months, I finally landed some interviews. And keep in mind, I was only going for cleaning jobs that I was actually qualified for. I was over dealing with pesky customers, and I just wanted to do my job, and clock in and clock out without any drama. Can you really blame me? Unfortunately, this wasn't the most pleasant experience for me. In the event that I did receive a response, they'd ask me to schedule an interview over the phone. As someone who struggles with intense social anxiety, this part was particularly challenging for me. I'm not sure if it's just me, but after putting on a facade with others, I feel absolutely exhausted. It's a feeling I really hate. When it's time for me to rest, my mind replays every single word and action that I took. It's an endless cycle that I wish I could break. It feels like I'm torturing myself, and not in a fun, kinky way. So, I put off booking an appointment until the next day, because, let's face it, procrastination is my middle name. And when I finally picked up the phone to make the call, my heart was pounding, as if I just went on a 10-mile hike. To my utter shock and joy, no one answered. Phew. But of course, my luck wouldn't let me off that easy. I had to make that dreaded phone call eventually, and trust me, I was not looking forward to it. I know reception can be busy, but making phone calls is my kryptonite. I must have called 5 more times and even sent an email before I could finally get through. Will they answer? What if I don't know what to say? What if I need something I don't have? What if I accidentally recite my shopping list instead of my name? Do I have a pen and paper? Or will I have to resort to carving my message into a tree? What day should I choose? And what if I accidentally blurt out my secret love for pineapple pizza? The mere thought of all these uncertainties is enough to make me break out into a cold sweat, fidget like a squirrel on caffeine, and hyperventilate. But hey, at least I managed to schedule an appointment without any major disasters. Phew. In all honesty, I find interviews about as enjoyable as a trip to the dentist. To combat my nerves, I spent the night before my interview carefully crafting a list of questions and answers. As I made my way to the interview, I read and reviewed my notes. Upon arriving, I had a brief 15 minutes to spare. I spent the first 5 minutes hyperventilating in the car, followed by another 5 minutes trying to sign in with my shaky hands at the reception desk. Thankfully, I was 5 minutes early, which allowed me to avoid a full-blown panic attack. In order to stay calm, I had to pretend that this was just a casual conversation and not a full-blown interrogation. It may not seem like much, but it helped me feel more at ease. I was summoned to the cleaner's interview lair, and they grilled me for a solid 20 to 30 minutes with questions that made my brain hurt. Then they escorted me out of the building like a VIP. I could sense they were impressed, but I didn't want to get too excited just yet. I've been down this road before, and let's just say, crying over a rejection letter is not a good look. Lesson learned, never put all your eggs in one basket, not until you have an offer in hand. Trust me, I've shed enough tears over spilled milk to know. Like that time I spilled milk on my computer after getting the screen fixed for £100, it was not a good look. After 2 agonising days of waiting, I finally received a call back, with the news that I got the job. I was so excited, I had to calm myself down with a cup of Yorkshire tea. I like my tea strong with a spoonful of honey and a splash of milk. All that was left to do was send in my documents, and complete a brief online training course, which I wasted no time finishing. They then reached out to inform me of my start date, location, and parking instructions before I could obtain my ID. My start date was set for January, giving me a chance to start the new year with a clean slate. I'm so grateful that I was able to leave my job straight away, but I know not everyone can do that, and it's just nice to start afresh for the new year. It was a relief to leave the toxic work environment behind. While I wouldn't advise anyone to quit their job if they can help it, I can share my own experiences with you. It's important to have a plan in place if possible, and if you're stuck in a bad job, don't panic. Create a plan and start looking for a new job while you still have one. If that's not possible, make sure you have enough savings or a supportive partner to help you through it. It may take a while to find a new job, and even then there's no guarantee that it'll be a perfect fit. But you'll never know unless you give it a try. If you'd like to support my hopes and dreams of getting a border collie and living in the middle of nowhere, please look at my website where you can find goodies for sale, like stickers and bookmarks. I also do commissions. And don't forget to check out my children's book, Super Poppy. It really means a lot to me. Please subscribe, share, comment and like. See you.